Good evening. Welcome to Loveworld USA News. I'm Joel Richard, and first, a quick look at the top stories this evening. NATO leaders convene in The Hague as alliance commits to major defense hike. FBI to reassign agents from immigration to counterterrorism after Iran strikes. U.S. Marshals recover 60 missing children in Florida in Operation Dragon Eye. Left-wing challenger rises against Cuomo in New York City mayoral primary. Trump administration steps in as New Jersey town moves to seize a 175-year-old family farm. And now to the news. Leaders from all 32 NATO member states arrived in The Hague for a high-stakes summit focused on bolstering European security amid ongoing conflict in Ukraine and rising tensions with Russia. The summit marks President Donald Trump's first NATO appearance since 2019 and follows his push for a dramatic increase in defense spending. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte praised Trump's handling of the alliance and Iran, crediting him for securing unanimous agreement on a new 5% GDP defense spending target. The deal includes 3.5% for core defense needs and 1.5% for related infrastructure and cybersecurity. Rutte's private message lauding Trump was shared publicly by the president, though Rutte said it posed no problem. The increased commitment comes as Russia intensifies its attacks on Ukraine. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, calling the summit historic, confirmed Germany would meet the 3.5 threshold by 2029, with $152 billion in annual spending by then. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine is also attending and is expected to meet with President Trump. However, not all allies were unified on the deal. Spain and other members, including Belgium and Slovakia, signaled interest in exemptions due to domestic opposition and budget constraints. Despite this, all 32 nations are expected to sign on. The summit also saw security concerns after a cable fire disrupted rail access near Amsterdam, with sabotage now ruled out by Dutch officials. Let's take a look.
NATO members will be expected to spend 5% of GDP on defense and security, up from the current 2% target. This includes 3.5% for core defense like troops and weapons and 1.5% for broader areas such as infrastructure and cybersecurity. Currently, 22 of 32 NATO countries meet or exceed the 2% goal, but spending varies widely, with Poland at over 4% and Spain below 1.3%. The new target aims for all members to meet this by 2035. The increase is driven by concerns over Russia's war in Ukraine and possible threats to Europe, along with the US calls for greater burden sharing. The new funds will go toward capabilities like air defense, fighter jets, drones and logistics. However, some countries, like Spain, have expressed reluctance to fully meet the new spending goals. This is the first time City is hosting the NATO summit and is under country's largest ever security operation called Orange Shield. Leaders from all 32 member nations are attending the summit, plus Ukraine's Zelensky has made his presence felt with meeting leaders. NATO chief Mark Rutte said this is a quantum leap that is ambitious, historic and fundamental to securing the future.
The defense investment plan that allies will agree in The Hague introduces a new baseline, 5% of GDP to be invested in defense. This is a quantum leap that is ambitious, historic and fundamental to securing our future. The new defense investment plan is the key deliverable for this summit and will be decisive when it comes to ensuring effective deterrence in defense.
In other news today, the FBI is planning a significant internal shift, moving thousands of agents away from immigration enforcement to bolster counterterrorism and cybersecurity operations. The realignment comes in response to increased concerns over foreign threats, particularly from Iran, following recent U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear targets. The proposed reallocation affects agents previously assigned to assist with immigration enforcement under directives from President Donald Trump's administration. That policy had drawn concern from within the Bureau over reduced focus on national security threats. An FBI spokesperson declined to confirm the specifics, but said the agency continuously assesses and realigns resources based on evolving national security needs. The Department of Homeland Security has previously allowed multiple federal agencies, including the DEA and U.S. Marshals, to conduct immigration enforcement. However, The latest developments signal a renewed emphasis on countering potential retaliation or cyber activity from U.S. adversaries, particularly in the wake of Operation Midnight Hammer. Let's take a quick look.
FBI is actually shifting agents away from immigration enforcement to focus on cyber threats and counterterrorism efforts.
Welcome back. A U.S. Marshals-led operation in Florida has resulted in the recovery of 60 critically missing children, marking what authorities are calling the most successful child recovery mission in the agency's history. The two-week operation, dubbed Operation Dragon Eye, was conducted in coordination with local, state, and federal partners across Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. The operation also led to 8 arrests on charges including human trafficking, child endangerment, and narcotics possession. Authorities define critically missing children as those at elevated risk of violent crimes, substance abuse, exploitation, or domestic violence. Officials said recovered children received immediate medical, psychological, and social services support. U.S. Marshal William Berger praised the results, saying the operation not only found children aged 9 to 17, but also ensured they received critical care to avoid re-victimization. The effort involved agencies and nonprofits such as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, whose executive director called it a testament to what's possible when agencies unite to protect children. Watch this.
Marshals led a 2-week operation to recover critically missing and endangered children. The Marshals, along with local law enforcement agencies, were able to locate the missing kids ages 9 to 17, and police also made 8 arrests.
More stories coming after this break. Don't go away.
Money is the sign of shortage. Money is not the sign of blessing, it is the sign of shortage. Money is not the evidence of blessing, it is the evidence of shortage. It is the evidence of lack. I know nobody ever told you that. So you better listen to me now. I walk in absolute prosperity, so I can tell you, money is not a sign of prosperity, it's a sign of lack. It's a game that defines the classification of people. Once you are able to see beyond it and understand what God's plan is and who you are not controlled by money. Money becomes your slave. Somebody said, I wish I heard what Pastor just said in the month of May. Month of blessing, I would have applied it. You still have time. We carry all the blessings of the previous month into the new ones. That's what we do. Never let the thought of money control your attitude.
Yes, sir.
You know, there are people who become happy when they have money. And when they don't have it, you can tell. You just look at them, you can tell. You can tell they're broken down. Money is their master. They're worshiping the god of Mammon. When you are delivered from that, or when you've not been enslaved by that, you don't know when you've had money and when you've not had money, because you don't operate with those numbers. La korabakasaya, rabakandalobosia. Are you still there?
Welcome back. In other news today, a major divide within the Democratic Party is playing out in New York City's mayoral race, where Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani, a self-described Democratic socialist, has emerged as a strong challenger to former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Mamdani's rise comes amid internal party debate over how to confront President Donald Trump's re-election and growing support in liberal strongholds like New York City. Mamdani, once trailing by 40 points, has surged in polls by emphasizing affordability-focused policies, such as free public buses, universal childcare, and rent freezes. Backed by Republican Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Bernie Sanders, he's garnered significant support among younger and more progressive voters. Cuomo, however, who resigned as governor in 2021 amid scandal, retains strong name recognition and union support, leading among older and black voters. Andrew Cuomo has framed himself as the experienced moderate, emphasizing public safety and fiscal responsibility, while criticizing Mamdani's platform as unrealistic. Mamdani, meanwhile, has challenged the Democratic establishment's approach and criticized Cuomo's past policies on Israel, offering a more left-leaning stance on foreign affairs. Tuesday's primary is viewed as a national test of the Democratic Party's future direction, as it wrestles with internal divisions during Trump's second term. Watch this.
With triple-digit temperatures today, New York City is a baked apple, but that didn't stop those vying to be the Democratic nominee for mayor from urging people to cast their ballot. This morning on the Upper West Side, Scott Stringer saying, make it quick, but get out and vote.
Today is the culmination of over a year's work, so I'm excited to be out here talking to voters, meeting them and asking them one last time to rank me number one.
Ranked choice voting, something we've only seen one other time here in the 5 boroughs, a system where you can pick as many as 5 candidates in order of preference.
Thank you for voting.
Brad Landers started his day at the Barclays Center in downtown Brooklyn, meeting with voters.
Tonight, we're going to see at least the first place vote results, and that's going to say a lot about where this is going.
A race where affordability has been a common theme among the candidates. Adrienne Adams was also out and about in Brooklyn.
Our priority is going to be to make sure that there are ways to keep people here in the city of New York.
The issue has been a main talking point for Zoran Mandani. At sunrise, the 33-year-old made a splash at a city pool in Astoria, delivering what he called a closing argument.
No matter what borough I'm in, I hear about affordability time and time again, and New Yorkers know that the architect of this crisis is Andrew Cuomo.
Mayor Adams voted at PS 81 in Bed-Stuy this morning. The registered Democrat is running as an independent, joking he's penning his name 5 times on the ballot.
The real race is in November. I will see everyone in November.
Andrew Cuomo was also literally cool as a cucumber as he headed to the polls on the Upper East Side.
Is it oppressively hot like they said? I don't believe so. I brought my precautionary voting equipment with me.
The Trump administration is weighing legal options to assist a New Jersey family fighting to keep their 175-year-old farm, which local officials in Cranberry are seeking to seize via eminent domain for state-mandated affordable housing. The U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rawlings, announced she is reviewing the case and has personally contacted one of the farm's owners, Andy Henry. Rawlings criticized what she called Biden-style government takeover policies and said the USDA is exploring every legal option to help. The Henry brothers, who currently lease the property for cattle farming, have rejected multi-million-dollar development offers in an effort to preserve the land. Cranberry officials claim the seizure is intended to prevent expensive legal challenges from developers by meeting state housing quotas. While the town has stated it would offer fair market value, the Henry family has made clear they are not interested in selling. Rawlings acknowledged that the matter is a local issue, but said federal officials would do what they can to protect family farms from overreach. Let's take a look.
Farm. This is Cranberry, New Jersey. But look what's behind the farm. There are warehouses everywhere you go, and now they want to seize this farm to build affordable housing. It has been in Andy Henry's family for 175 years, and Andy, you say, don't do it.
No, don't do it. I mean, this place is important to us. It's the last family farm east of Route 130 in Cranberry. And as you mentioned, it's been ours since 1850.
In other news, online job platform Career Builder plus Monster has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, citing a difficult macroeconomic climate and declining industry conditions. The Chicago-based firm, formed from the 2024 merger of Career Builder and Monster, listed estimated liabilities between $100 million and $500 million. The company announced it has reached agreements to sell off several major assets, including its core job board operations to JobGet, a platform focused on gig workers. It also plans to divest its government software services to Canada's Valsoft and sell websites military.com and fastweb.com to Canadian media firm Valnet. All sales are subject to competitive bidding. CEO Jeff Foreman stated that the bankruptcy and asset sales represent the best course to preserve value and protect jobs. Career Builder and Monster, both legacy names in online employment services, are currently owned by Apollo Global Management and Randstad. Now, moving on, the Chapter 11 filing was made in Delaware, and comes as the broader jobless industry faces rising economic pressure and shifting market demands. The news continues after this break. Stay with us.
The life of a soldier is not just a job, it's a calling and a sacred tradition passed down from father to son, brother to sister, and one generation to the next. At every hour of danger, our noblest citizens have answered that call. Time and again, our enemies have learned that if you dare to threaten the American people, American soldier will chase you down, crush you, and cast you into oblivion. The last sound you ever hear will be the dueling howl of Black Hawks. Thunderous boom of artillery fire. Or the ferocious roar of a U.S. Army infantry brigade. For our adversaries, there's no greater fear than the United States Army. Now it's your duty to shield the flame of freedom that was first lit 250 years ago by the heroes of Concord Bridge and Bunker Hill. Standing before you today, I am more confident than ever that in the days ahead and every generation to come, the U.S. Army will heap glory upon glory. You will protect every inch of U.S. soil, and you will defend.
In other news today, Thailand has barred all foreign tourists from entering Cambodia as tensions between the two Southeast Asian nations continue over a long-standing border dispute. The new restrictions apply to land crossings in several Thai provinces and to flights into Cambodia's Siem Reap resort area. The Thai military cited security concerns following recent clashes that left one Cambodian soldier dead in May. The military said the travel ban matches the current security situation and added that it is also aimed at combating illegal scam operations operating across the border. Cambodia responded with economic and cultural sanctions banning Thai imports, including food, electricity, and media content. Humanitarian exceptions to Thailand's travel ban may be granted on a case-by-case basis for medical patients and students. The dispute has sparked political fallout within Thailand, where a leaked phone call between Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra and former Cambodian leader Hun Sen stirred controversy. This incident led to the exit of a key coalition partner from the ruling Pheu Thai party. Let's take a quick look at this.
Statement, the military said the move was in line with the current security situation. Bilateral relations between the two countries are at their worst in over a decade, after armed clashes along the border left one Cambodian soldier dead in May. The two countries have since imposed punitive measures against each other. Cambodia responded by banning Thai imports, including electricity, internet services, fruits, and even
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni will seek re-election in the country's 2026 general elections, according to a senior official from the ruling National Resistance Movement. The announcement marks the first official confirmation of Museveni's candidacy. The 80-year-old president has ruled Uganda since 1986. Under his leadership, the NRM government amended the constitution in 2005 to eliminate presidential term limits and in 2017 to remove the age cap for candidates. Tango Odoy, chairman of the NRM's electoral body, said Museveni will pick up nomination forms this Saturday to run both as party chairperson and as the party's presidential flag bearer. Museveni is expected to face opposition leader Bobi Wine, who also ran in the 2021 election and claimed the results were fraudulent. Uganda is scheduled to hold general elections in January 2026. Human rights groups and opposition parties have frequently accused Museveni of using state resources and security forces to maintain power. The president, however, has dismissed such claims, stating his leadership continues due to popular support. Watch this.
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni will seek re-election for a seventh term in polls due early next year, according to a senior official from the ruling party. Museveni was widely expected to run again, but this is the first confirmation from his National Resistance Movement party. The country will hold its general elections in January 2026. Voters will choose both the president and lawmakers. At 80 years old, Yoweri Museveni has held power in Uganda since 1986. He is the fourth longest ruling leader in Africa. Under his tenure, the National Resistance Movement has changed the 1995 constitution twice to allow him to extend his rule. Museveni's biggest opponent in the 2026 polls should be Bobi Wine. The singer-turned-politician came second in the 2021 elections but claimed the results were fraudulent. Wine has already said he intends to run again next year. Museveni has shrugged off recurring accusations that he has maintained his grip on power through patronage and intimidation. He claims his long rule is due to lasting popular support.
Now, just before we end the news for today, a quick look at tomorrow's weather forecast. And to end the news for today, a quick recap of the headlines. NATO leaders convene in The Hague as alliance commits to major defense hike. FBI to reassign agents from immigration to counterterrorism after Iran strikes. U.S. Marshals recover 60 missing children in Florida in Operation Dragon Eye. Left-wing challenger rises against Cuomo in NYC mayoral primary. Trump administration steps in as New Jersey town moves to seize a 175-year-old family farm. And that's all the news we have for you today. Join us again the same time tomorrow. I'm Joel Richards signing off. Good night and God bless you.